telling them that Collinsville is where it's at. So when we on the field of court, they better be aware of that. They scared of that. Of course, look at the ceiling. What up, Mr. Floyd? Yeah, it's Collinsville. And you're so glad to say that I'm a Kahok. I'm about to graduate. Yeah, you know what it is. Collinsville High School, a champions. Yeah, screaming that's us. And when we on top, boy, quit fussing. All around my town, everything is white and purple, white and purple, white and purple, white and purple. We shut it down for the school and the sports team. White and purple, white and purple, white and purple, white and purple.
White and purple, yeah, I know you see it. You see the chaos and you tell yourself you wanna be it. I go to CHS, so I am a champ. I ran this game so long I'm starting to get a stomach cramp. Class of 1, 2, but we're number 1. Shout out to all my juniors, yeah, you know we get it done. White and purple, you already know. It's little easy peasy and that boy lay low.
Yeah, you know what it is. Collinsville High School, a champions. Yeah, screaming that's us. And when we on top, boy, quit fussing. All around my town, everything is white and purple, white and purple, white and purple, white and purple. We shut it down for the school and the sports team. White and purple, white and purple, white and purple, white and purple.
I'm about my white and purple, Scarface and DJ Screw. We on the peak of the mountain, best at what we do. Yeah, we the champs, homie, but we ain't selling shoes. These boys bleeding purple, call us the cheapin' crew. Ain't no gotta do it big, cause I don't play with sports. I play my cards right. Now a good report. When Dub 12 comes, it's time to roll off. I'm in the back cause everybody rolling with me. Kahawks.
Yeah, you know what it is.
Look, all the freshmen, all the boys,
High school champions.
yeah, they know what it is.
All around my town, everything is
White and purple, white and purple, white and purple, white and purple.
we shut it down for the school and the sports team.
White and purple, white and purple, white and purple, white and purple.
Yeah, you know what it is. Collinsville High School, a champions. Yeah, screaming that's us. And when we on top, boy, quit fussing. All around my town, everything is white and purple, white and purple, white and purple, white and purple. We shut it down for the school and the sports team. White and purple, white and purple, white and purple, white and purple.
And very good afternoon to everyone, and welcome back to the Roy E. Lee Field here in the Simmons Baseball Complex in Edwardsville, part of the campus of SIUE. And we were here for some baseball because everything else kind of got pushed aside. Soccer's still going on tonight at O'Fallon because they play in the rain, and boys volleyball still going on. Zach Roseman is going to have that game for you on the Kahok Broadcast Club Student Network. But we are here because the softball game got rained out. That was originally on our schedule for today, but since this game's played on turf and the rain has come to a close, this is a safe bet as any. So we're going to go ahead and bring you some Kahok baseball today as your Collinsville Kahawks get ready to take on the Flyers of East St. Louis. And again, my name is Todd Duke. Welcome you into the pregame show brought to you today by LC's Pub in Caseyville. Great food, great drinks, and great service, all served up daily at LC's Pub in Caseyville. 605 North Main Street is where you'll find them. You can give them a call for carry-out orders. That's LC's Pub in Caseyville, 618-855-9007. Well, Collinsville comes into this contest with a record of 6-13 on the year. They are 0-4 in Southwestern Conference play under their fifth-year head coach Brett Swip, who now has a record of 62 wins and 85 losses. East St. Louis, well, we believe they're 4-8 in the baseball world this year, and also 0-4 in Southwestern Conference play. Maurice Scott is their head coach. He's been their head coach for over 20 years now, but couldn't tell you what his record is. Well, following Collinsville's 10-0 win at Mater Dei 6 days ago, Kahawks have been involved in a couple of dogfight games that Collinsville came out of with back-to-back losses. The first of which came a day after that 10-0 win over the Knights in Breeze, that being a 1-0 loss here at SIUE's Roy E. Lee Field to rival Edwardsville. Collinsville went toe-to-toe with the Kahawks 2 days after losing at Edwardsville 13-1. The only run scored in that preceding 1-0 loss came in the third on an RBI double by the Tigers. The only run starter Carter Harrington allowed in a complete game loss, as Harrington struck out 6 and only allowed 4 hits. That was followed by a slugfest 12-8 loss here at SIUE Friday. That's a game we brought to you. That one saw the Cahoks jump out to a 7-1 lead over the Waterloo Bulldogs after 3 innings, but the next 3 innings belonged to Waterloo, with a 4-run fourth by the Bulldogs, a 5-run fifth that saw Waterloo score all 5 runs after Collinsville got the first 2 outs of the inning, plus a 2-run sixth, and that flipped the score in the Bulldogs' favor at 12-7. Collinsville got 1 run back on in the 7th inning. In the 7th inning. On a couple of occasions in that 7th inning, Collinsville brought the potential tying run into the on-deck circle, but Collinsville couldn't string anything together and left feeling a bit disappointed in that 12-8 loss. East St. Louis, not a lot of information available online for the Flyers baseball team on the 2 sites that are available for us in the broadcast streaming industry, that being the STL Today site and Max Preps. STL Today had East St. Louis at 0-6. Max Preps has them at 4-8, so we're going with the Max Preps for whatever knowledge we can gather. Neither site has any stats for the Flyers, so we're not going to have any stats for East St. Louis in this game. And that was according to Max Preps and the STL site. So, according to Max Preps, East St. Louis started their season with back-to-back losses on the road with a 16-1 season opening loss at Althoff. That was back on March 18th. That was followed up with a 14-1 loss at East Alton Wood River. East St. Louis then picked up their first win in a wild 17-16 game versus Cardinal Ritter on April Fool's Day. East St. Louis opened Southwestern Conference play at Alton on the 8th of April with a 10-0 loss. Same score 2 days later at the Jackie Joyner Kersey Center. And sandwiched in between those 2 10-0 losses to Alton was a 16-0 win at Roosevelt in St. Louis. 2 more losses followed that second loss to Alton, a 14-14 loss at Metro East Lutheran and a 17-0 loss at Belleville East. A day later, East St. Louis beat Cahokia 18-1 and then lost the rematch to Belleville East 15-0. 2 days later, East St. Louis beat Manual High School in Peoria 15-0. East St. Louis comes into this game after losing yesterday 8-7 to East Alton Wood River. Had a chance to catch up with our next senior on the list of senior interviews, and that would be number 18, Renzer Hartman. My conversation with young Mr. Hartman will come your way after a timeout here on the LC's Pub pregame show on the Kahok Sports Network.
Looking for a little bite to eat in a nice, friendly establishment before heading out to a game? Look no further than LC's Pub in Caseyville. Just blocks from Collinsville High School, LC's Pub is the pub of choice for Kahok fans, before, after, or even during Kahok games. LC's Pub features a wide variety of traditional bar food like burgers and fries, chicken wings and chicken strips, appetizers like pepper jack mac and cheese bites, fried pickles, and green beans. Plus they have salads, fish, shrimp, and more. LC's Pub also features an outdoor patio, a gaming room, weekly poker tournaments, and a pool table, plus enough TVs for all the sports fans. And LC's Pub shows Kahok games live, as well as Blues and Cardinals games. LC's Pub, 605 North Main Street in Caseyville, right across the intersection from All Pro Tees. Call for carryout orders at 618-855-9007 and on Facebook at LC's Pub. LC's Pub, Kahok fans' pub of choice.
At Visionary Wealth Advisors, we empower you to see your future before it's your future, to create your inheritance, to build your vision, to anticipate the known and unknown, and to find potential in both, and build new dawns. Visionary Wealth Advisors.
Visit Brad Keene at his Collinsville office at 106 North Clinton or call 618-467-8420. Do you have a big land improvement project that requires some outside help? Call Petroff Trucking Company. Petroff companies have been shaping the metro area since 1975. Family owned and operated, Petroff Trucking Company can do the job and do it right. Hauling, excavating, and grading, they do that and more. Petroff Companies also has roll-off dumpster rentals. They also specialize in dirt and rock sales. Petroff Trucking Company can help you develop your land for your needs. Petroff Trucking Company. Check out their website, petrofftrucking.com, or give them a call, 618-797-6100. Petroff Trucking Company, shaping the metro area since 1975.
The Junior Service Club of Collinsville has been a proud supporter of KahokSports.com and the Kahok Sports Network from day one. Since 1934, the Junior Service Club of Collinsville has been providing women in the community an opportunity to make a difference with fundraisers and projects, all that go towards helping the needy in Collinsville. If you would like any information on any event sponsored by the Collinsville Junior Service Club, head to Facebook, type in Collinsville Junior Service Club, and then click on the Event tab. We thank the Collinsville Junior Service Club for their continued support of the Kahok Sports Network and KahokSports.com.
Hi, Purple and White fans. This is Dan Mode, class of 1989. I'm with New American Funding. Myself and New American Funding are proud sponsors of Kahok Athletics. As we have great coaches at CHS on all the courts, fields, and tracks, we like to coach you through the home buying process and refinance process. If there's ever anything we can do, I can be reached at 618-973-5343 or www.danmodeloans.com. Let's support our student athletes at CHS. They deserve the best. Thank you for your time, and go Kahawks.
Looking for a little bite to eat in a nice friendly establishment before heading out to a game? Look no further than LC's Pub in Caseyville. Just blocks from Collinsville High School, LC's Pub is the pub of choice for Kahawk fans, before, after, or even during Kahawk games. LC's Pub features a wide variety of traditional bar food like burgers and fries, chicken wings and chicken strips, appetizers like pepper jack mac and cheese bites, fried pickles, and green beans. Plus they have salads, fish, shrimp, and more. LC's Pub also features an outdoor patio, a gaming room, weekly poker tournaments, and a pool table, plus enough TVs for all the sports fans. And LC's Pub shows Kahawk games live as well as Blues and Cardinals games. LC's Pub, 605 North Main Street in Caseyville, right across the intersection from All Pro Tees. Call for carry-out orders at 618-855-9007 and on Facebook at LC's Pub. LC's Pub, Kahawk fans' pub of choice.
And we welcome you back into the LC's Pub pregame show here on the Kahok Sports Network. Another rainy day around the Midwest. They say if you don't like the weather in the Midwest, wait 5 minutes. So we waited 5 minutes, and we decided to switch our softball coverage over to baseball coverage. Your Collinsville Kahawks getting ready to take on the Flyers of East St. Louis. We continue with our senior interviews. We are up to number 18 on the roster. That would be Renzer Hartman. All right, Renzer, tell me, what is your official role with the team? You the utility bench player, is that what it is?
Yeah, something like that.
All right, tell me about your family, man. Parents, brothers, sisters, pets?
Yeah, I got my mom and dad, Beth and Rich, and then I have a sister named Berlin, and then I have a dog named Paris.
What kind of dog is Paris?
She's a Chihuahua.
So you got Paris, France, and Berlin, Germany?
Yep, something like that.
That's kind of cool. All right, tell me a little bit about your baseball story. Who got you started in the world of baseball? How old were you when you started playing baseball?
I'd say my dad overall. I've always watched baseball growing up, and I remember being really young, probably like 4 or 5. Like every day I'd wake up, I'd be like, "Mom, Dad, can I play yet?" And I started around 5 years old.
Parents' athletic abilities, got any there?
Yeah, a little bit. I know my mom played softball and my dad played baseball, so yep.
All right, cool. So any other sports that you play, or you would like to play?
I did play basketball in middle school, but just baseball now.
If you had one sport to pick that you would like, man, I would like to play that if I was really, really good at it, what would it be?
Probably football. It looks really fun, but my mom never let me play.
Yeah, I get that sometimes too. All right, favorite things category. These are your favorite things, not mine. No one wants to know my favorite things. All right, your favorite sweet snack.
Ooh, probably go Keebler fudge stripes.
That's pretty specific. Favorite salty snack.
Ooh, I'd probably go like a beef jerky.
All right. Breakfast, lunch, or dinner? Which one of those three is your favorite?
I'd say breakfast, I'd say dinner for favorite, but breakfast most important for sure.
All right. So, what is for dinner, and who cooks that dinner for you?
It really depends on the day. A lot of eating out with the baseball. You know, we gotta run around all the time. But if not, then it'd be mom cooking.
All right. You got a favorite dish that mom cooks?
All of them.
All of them. That's a good, solid answer there. All right. Favorite restaurant since we were on restaurant?
We'll go Texas Roadhouse.
Yeah, that's a good standby there. Favorite music genre? What is your favorite kind of music?
Country music.
Got a favorite artist in that genre?
I'd say probably Cody Johnson or Riley Green's up there.
All right, cool. School. Favorite class in high school?
Ooh, I'd say leadership.
Least favorite class in high school?
Chemistry for sure.
See, most of it's math, but I get chemistry too because that's a lot of math as well. All right, what does the future hold, man? You're getting ready to graduate next month. What's next for Renzer?
Well, I'm coming here in the fall, SIUE.
Oh, yeah? What are you going to do?
I'm going to do construction management.
All right, cool. Shout outs, man. You got anybody out there you'd like to say hi to?
Shout out to my family. Thank you so much for supporting me with everything that I do. And yeah, that's about it.
All right, man. I was here Friday for that game against Waterloo. Talk to me about that game, man. You guys were up 7-1 in that game, and then they kind of took it to you in those final 3 innings.
Yeah, I mean, we started out pretty good, but we know that we gotta finish a game. So hopefully we can do that today, twice.
Twice. You got East St. Louis twice here today. So what do you need to do to take care of the Flyers? Twice.
Just get on them early like we did in Waterloo, but keep the foot on the gas.
All right, Renzer Hartman, thank you very much. Good luck today with your doubleheader, and good luck in your future.
Thank you.
That is Renzer Hartman, number 18 on your roster. We'll take a break here on the LC's Pub pregame show. When we come back, we'll throw starters your way and stats. All that and more coming up on the Kahok Sports Network.
Looking for a little bite to eat in a nice, friendly establishment before heading out to a game? Look no further than LC's Pub in Caseyville. Just blocks from Collinsville High School, LC's Pub is the pub of choice for Kahok fans, before, after, or even during Kahok games. LC's Pub features a wide variety of traditional bar food like burgers and fries, chicken wings and chicken strips, appetizers like pepper jack mac and cheese bites, fried pickles, and green beans. Plus they have salads, fish, shrimp, and more. LC's Pub also features an outdoor patio, a gaming room, weekly poker tournaments, and a pool table, plus enough TVs for all the sports fans. And LC's Pub shows Kahok games live as well as Blues and Cardinals games. LC's Pub, 605 North Main Street in Caseyville, right across the intersection from All Pro Tees. Call for carryout orders at 618-855-9007 and on Facebook at LC's Pub. LC's Pub, Kahok fans' pub of choice.
Pack Mail of Collinsville, locally owned and operated by Ryan Combs. Pack Mail can ship anything, anywhere. They treat you like a neighbor because, well, you are a neighbor. Pack Mail offers shipping materials and containers, private mailboxes, as well as climate-controlled self-storage. Visit Pack Mail at 407 Beltline Road in Collinsville. Online, WeShipStLouis.com or call Pack Mail at 346-4884. The Collinsville Education Association is a proud supporter of KahokSports.com and the Kahok Sports Network. The CEA is your partner as they work to ensure quality education for our children. The CEA advocates excellence and equity in public education and represent over 400 educators in 11 schools in both Madison and St. Clair counties. For more information, you can visit the Collinsville Education Association's Facebook page or the CEA's website at collinsvillecea.org.
Collinsville High School alumni Stacy Lauenstein, CHS class of 91, Lisa Bassetto, Sarah Sulke, and Tracy Limp, CHS class of 94, Tony Geisen, CHS class of 96, and Kevin Robinson, CHS class of 99, want to wish all of our Kahawks a great year. We look forward to cheering you on and supporting you. Work hard on the court and the field, as well as in the classroom. Remember, once a Kahawk, always a Kahawk. Hashtag Kahawk Family. Old Herald Brewery and Distillery in Collinsville produces their own spirits and beer on site, right at the restaurant. Pair that with some of the most unique menu items around the entire metro area, and you can see why they are such a hit. They can handle you and your family, or they can handle you and your group. Throw in the occasional live entertainment, and you can see why Old Harold Brewery and Distillery is a must-stop destination in Collinsville. Old Harold Brewery and Distillery, 115 East Clay Street in Collinsville, 618-855-8027, or online at oldharoldbrewing.com.
It's probably the largest purchase you'll ever make. We have 5 agents on our team.
We cover about an hour radius around St. Louis.
We grew up here. We know every town like the back of our hands.
Our job as realtors is helping someone find their dream home, whether it's a family or an individual. We just want to do everything that we can to keep the process as simple and as stress-free as possible for you.
The Blaylock Group, the official realtors of the Kahok Sports Network and Kahok Athletics.
Once again, we welcome you back here to SIUE. Roy E. Lee Field is where we are. We got a little sunshine that has broken through this dark and dreary and wet day. And looks like we're in for a roller coaster ride. We got more rain in the forecast for tomorrow. We got more rain in the forecast for Thursday. And I think that might come to an end on Friday morning. We're in for a nice weekend, but that's not going to do us any good here during the week. We have another softball game scheduled for you tomorrow. It's a makeup game between Collinsville and Redbud that was rained out earlier this year. So we're going to have to keep our eyes open. And that field out there, the softball complex, cannot take any more water. So if it rains again tomorrow morning, that game will probably most likely be washed away. Anyway, we're here today for some baseball. After we had a softball game scheduled, we adjusted a little bit. And here we are, and here are your starters for East St. Louis. Leading things off will be Jamon Company Jr. He will play second base, bat first. Sean Cobbs is a shortstop batting second. Montreal Harper batting third and playing third. Batting in the cleanup spot is their pitcher, Jarvis Spearman. Batting fifth is Victor Miller. He'll hold down the duties at first base. Daniel Crockett is in right field batting sixth. Nigel Davis is behind the plate doing the catching. And he will bat seventh. Jeremy Hill, the left fielder, batting eighth. And Kennedy Ayers will be playing center field and batting ninth. Logan Odell is on the mound for Collinsville. He's ready to go. Umpires are ready to go. We're ready to go. And the first pitch is in there for a called strike, and we are underway. Odell, this is his 7th appearance, his 6th game started. He has 1 complete game. He's 1-3 on the year, with 16 2/3 of an innings pitched. He has a 10.08 earned run average. He has struck out 22, and he's walked 16. He is ahead 0-2 in the count to Company. And the righty awaits the next from Odell. Looks at it outside, called strike 3. And that's how we get this one started. 1 out. And here is Sean Cobbs, the shortstop, ready to come to the plate. And again, I have no stats for East St. Louis, so you're going to have to bear with me as we work our way through this one together. Try to get situated up here in this box. Here's the pitch, and that one hits the outside corner as well, so nothing from strikes here early on by Odell. Wind is whipping up pretty well, the same way it was the other day when we were here on Friday. It is blowing from the third base dugout to the right field corner, so the lefties with their power swings will have a lot better chance of getting this thing out of the ballpark than the right-handed hitters will going into that wind. It'll probably push it a little bit over. 1-1 pitch. That one's a little bit low and inside, so first batter that Odell falls behind is Sean Cobbs. Montreal Harper, he waits on deck as Odell from the windup pitches again. Swing and a miss, and count now even at 2-2. It is a bit chilly. 88 degrees we got up to yesterday under sunny skies. It felt awesome outside. That's a called strike 3 on the outside corner. So back-to-back third strike looking Company Jr. and Cobbs. And now it is up to Montreal Harper, the third baseman, if East St. Louis would like to put anything together here in this inning. 88 degrees yesterday, sunny. It was on the humid side as well. That's why you knew when there was a cold front moving in, it was going to trigger some storms, and boy, did it. I woke up about 3:15 this morning with some loud thunderclaps. And then it rained a little bit more this morning, and then it started again this afternoon. And that's kind of made everything a little too wet for outdoor sports for softball and baseball. Woke up this morning, it was 73 degrees, but probably 60 degrees when we arrived here at the ballpark this afternoon. Swing and a miss. Down on strikes is Harper, and a 1-2-3 inning. All 3 strikeouts for Logan Odell, and that'll send us to the bottom half of the first. Collinsville will get their first crack on offense. We'll tell you all about it when we come back from a timeout here on the Kahok Sports Network.
Just because we're adults doesn't mean we don't have toys, am I right? If your adult toys consist of boats, campers, or RVs, then you need to call the GASA storage team of professionals. Winter weather in the Midwest can be quite harsh, and finding a place to properly store those expensive toys for winter can be just as rough as a Midwest winter. That's where the GASA storage team comes in, with outdoor self-storage and covered storage for your toys. They even have tractor-trailer parking, conveniently located at Horseshoe Lake Road and 111 in Pontoon Beach. GASA Storage, for the safe storage of all of your toys. Contact the GASA Storage team, gasastorage@gmail.com, or call today, GASA Storage Team, 618-797-6100.
Once again, we welcome you back here to Roy E. Lee Field on the campus of SIU Edwardsville. East St. Louis went down 1-2-3, all 3 strikeouts for Logan Odell, and on the mound is Jarvis Spearman, and this is who he'll be facing here for Collinsville. Carson Perrell will lead things off and play right field. I forgot to give you the defensive lineup in the top of the first, so we'll do that in the top of the next inning. Braden Henson will bat second, play left field. Adam Bovinette is the designated hitter here this afternoon. He'll bat third. Carter Harrington is holding down duties at the hot corner. He will bat in the cleanup spot and play third base. Roman Pomerantz is across the corner. He'll bat fifth and play first base. Benjamin Tillman is behind the plate. He will bat sixth, make that fifth. I'll get it right. Sixth, and he'll hold down catching duty. Luke Robinson bats seventh and plays center field. Grant Darden will bat eighth and play shortstop, and Lucas Owen will be batting ninth and playing second base. Logan Odell not batting here today. Adam Bovinette will be batting for him. So that's a look at your lineup for your Collinsville Kahawks as Jarvis Spearman gets ready to take his last couple of tosses. And behind the plate is Nigel Davis. In the outfield for the Flyers from left to right, Jeremy Hill in left, Kennedy Ayers in center, Daniel Crockett in right field. On the infield, around the horn we go, Montreal Harper is at third base. Sean Cobbs at shortstop. Jamon Company Jr. is at second base, and Victor Miller is at first base. And here is Carson Perrell. Comes in batting .444. He leads the team for those that have a bunch of bats or at-bats. 17 runs batted in, 1 home run on the year for the Collinsville right fielder, Carson Perrell. First pitch is into the turf and bounces all the way back to the screen. New baseball thrown out there, and Spearman is ready to go once again. Perrell, he awaits the next delivery. Here it comes. Swing and a miss. 1 ball, 1 strike to count to Carson Perrell. Perrell, Henson, and Bovinette here in the first inning. If anyone can get on, Carter Harrington will have a chance to bat. Spearman delivers the next, and that one's outside and also rolls back to the screen. Bovinette's been busy just chasing down a couple of stray baseballs there as they get away from the catcher, Nigel Davis. 2-1 the count to Carson Perrell. Next pitch from Spearman on the way. Almost hit him. 3-1. Sunshine through some filtered clouds, so not bright sunshine, but we'll take some sun whenever we can get it. Here's a swing and a foul ball that goes back to the screen. And we'll do it all over again. 3-2 the count to Carson Perrell. Not sure of the dimensions here. They do not have anything on the outfield wall telling you how far things are away from home plate. There's a shot to the gap. That one's going to get down, and that one's going to roll. And it's going to be tracked down right around the warning track. It'll roll all the way up against the fence. Perrell is headed for third. They're going to hold him at third base, and he's going to have a leadoff stand-up triple is Carson Perrell. So an REI opportunity for Braden Henson. Carson Perrell on the year. That is his 4th triple. And here comes Braden Henson. Henson on the year batting a robust .362. 6 runs batted in. He has 1 home run under his belt so far this year. And the first pitch to Henson up the middle. That's going to score the run. And Collinsville leads 1-0. First pitch swinging is Braden Henson. And Collinsville up front, 1-0. Here is Adam Bovenette, the designated hitter. Bovenette batting .438 on the year, 13 runs batted in. He also has 1 home run. That American flag just kind of died down in center field now. Was whipping out to the right field corner, but it's just kind of laying there for a moment. Spearman steps off. Got a runner at first base to deal with. That would be Braden Henson. Now Spearman from the stretch will throw over there. And Henson on top of that wet turf dives back in there. SIUE, they were here taking batting practice when I got here today. They have a game across the river at St. Louis University against the Billikens at 6 o'clock. That field is natural grass over there, so they were told to come here before they headed over across the river, get some batting practice in, because they don't want them to take batting practice on that all-natural field while it's wet. So good luck to the Cougars as they take on the Billikens later today. Here's the 1-0, and that one gets away from Davis into the dirt on a wild pitch. And down to second base goes Henson. 2-0, the count to Bovenette. Bovenette playing the role of DH here today. They are going to play 2. I'm only going to do 1. Normally I would only do a doubleheader on a Saturday, not on a day when I've already had to work, and here I am, and I'm just going to do this first game and call it a day. Got a work day tomorrow, plus got a softball game on the schedule as well. That one's outside, and Bovenette receives a walk. So first and second, no one out. And here is Carter Harrington. Harrington batting .339 on the year, 12 runs batted in, 1 home run. And he'll have a chance with 1 runner in scoring position. That's Henson down at second base. Perrell led off this game with a triple swing, and the runners go. Throw down to third, not in time. So both runners will move up, and now both runners are in scoring position. Yeah. They called interference against Carter Harrington. So he is out.
First baseman number 4, Roman Pomerantz.
So there is 1 out in the inning. And here comes Roman Pomerantz. Pomerantz on the season. Where in the world is he? No, batting .321. I go by, I adjust my stats to the best batter down to the lowest batter, and sometimes I get lost because I don't go in numerical order. Pomerantz looks at 1 low. 1 ball, 1 strike to count. Brett Swift didn't like that interference call. He argued for a little bit, but never did approach the umpire at home plate. Just kind of set his piece down there in the third base coach's box. Runners on second and third, 1 out. Here's the pitch. That one hits the outside corner for a called strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes to count to the Kahok first baseman, Roman Pomerantz. Pomerantz looking for his first extra base hit of the year. That's over to third. Throw at first is going to be a little bit too high, and the first baseman comes down and puts the tag on Pomerantz for out number 2, or did he? I thought the first base umpire said he was out, or the infield umpire said he was out, but now they're going to call a timeout, talk about things. Meanwhile, Henson came home from third on the play. 2-0 in favor of Collinsville. And the two umpires are going to talk about it because I'm pretty sure I saw the infield umpire call out Pomerantz at first base. And he is. So 2 away. So the play goes 5-3 for out number 2, and that'll leave things up to Ben Tillman to continue this inning. Tillman comes in batting .220 with 9 runs batted in on the year, and he's got one just 90 feet away. First pitch is in there for a called strike. So 2-0 in favor of Collinsville. Lost a out on an interference call at home place to Carter Harrington, and then a out over at first base, even though Victor Miller had to jump up into the air to get that throw from Harper over at third base. Apparently he came down in time and either stepped on the bag when he did or he tagged out Pomerantz on his way. That one's inside, and that one hits him. So Tillman will go down to first base. So we've already had a wild pitch and a hit batter here in this first inning by Jarvis Spearman. And here is Luke Robinson, batting in the number 7 hole, playing center field. Robinson on the year, batting .281, 4 runs batted in. And we're going to have Jaden Frierson come in and do some courtesy running for the catcher. Frierson has a few stolen bases on the year. 3 to be exact. He has not been caught yet. See if he wants to do some running with second base open. So Spearman working from the stretch once again. Here's the pitch. It's a bunt. It's a good one down the third base side. Bovenette's going to come home and have no problem scoring. They're going to try to send the run over the third. There's no one there because Harper had to come in to get the bunt. And with no one covering third base, Tillman decided why not. RBI bunt base hit by Robinson. Bovenette comes in to score. 3-0 in favor of Collinsville. And the runner will take off and head down to second base without a throw at all. That would be Robinson. It's an uncontested stolen base. Grant Darden is the pitcher, batting .182 on the year, 3 runs batted in. He's got an opportunity to plate a couple here. That one's outside. Nice stop over there by Nigel Davis behind the plate. Oh, and 2 the count, or 2-0 the count, excuse me. 2 outs. 3-0 in favor of Collinsville. A couple more Kahawks out there on the base paths, ready to come home at a moment's notice. We'll see if Grant Darden can provide that moment's notice, but he is ahead in the count is Darden, 3-0, with Lucas Owen waiting on deck. If he gets to the plate, he'll be the number 9 man to bat here in this inning. There's a strike called. Darden was taking all the way. Spearman continues to work from the stretch and brings the next one home to Darden. Swing and a miss by Darden, so full count now to the Collinsville shortstop. And we're ready to go with that payoff pitch. Here it comes. Outside, he walked him, bases loaded. Second walk in the inning issued by Spearman, and here is the number 9 man in the order batting in the first inning, Lucas Owen. Owen on the year, batting .167, 3 runs batted in. Got a chance to make it a big inning here. Here's the pitch. And a called strike on the outside corner. Carson Perro, who led off this inning with a triple, is waiting on deck. Next pitch to Owen, swinging a high fly ball. On the move is Crockett out in right field. That one's going to fall in, and 1 run is going to score. Everybody else, what'd they call? What happened? I don't have any idea what's going on there. Oh, they called a balk. All right, so Frierson will come in to score on the balk, so that play never happened. So the run comes in to score anyway. Whoops. And now we have runners on second and third. 4-0 in favor of Collinsville. That one's outside. So everybody moved up. Robinson's over at third. Darden's over at second. First base is open. Lucas Owen is up there with a 1-1 count. And the pitch from Spearman on the way. Swinging a chance for the shortstop. He gloves it, and he throws hard and strong over to first base for the out. And the inning comes to a close, but not before Collinsville puts up 4 runs and take a 4-0 lead into the top of the second inning, which we will tell you about when we come back from this break on the Kahok Sports Network. The Old Herald Brewery and Distillery in Collinsville presents the Sports Page Lounge. Come check out Collinsville's newest destination for your sports viewing pleasure. The Sports Page Lounge features a 14-foot, 9-screen video wall with games across the spectrum, from college football and basketball to the NFL, NHL, Major League Baseball, and NBA. Pair that with tastefully crafted libations from the Old Herald Brewery and Distillery, and you have the perfect atmosphere for your sports viewing pleasure. The Sports Page Lounge, next to the Old Herald Brewery and Distillery at 115 Clay Street in Collinsville. Call 618-855-8027 for more information. The Sports Page Lounge, a new experience for sports lovers in Collinsville. Todd Duke here, proud member of the Collinsville Educational Assistance Association. Whether you call us teachers' aides, paraprofessionals, or educational assistants, it all comes down to one thing: taking care of students. More importantly, your student. Yes, we are there for the teachers, and we help them in any way possible. But our goals are in line with our teachers, in that we want to see our students succeed at not only being a student, but well beyond that as we ready them for the world outside of the classroom. We are Union Strong. We are Kahok Strong. We strive to help students reach their potential. We are the Collinsville Educational Assistance Association. Go Kahawks! Flyers pitcher Jarvis Spearman leads things off. First pitch swinging and right across over to Carter Harrington at third base. And one pitch equals 1 out here in the top of the second inning. Spearman out, 5-3. Let's go ahead and set that defense for you here for Collinsville while we have a moment. Braden Hinton is in left field. Luke Robinson in center. Carson Perrell over in right field around the horn. We just showed you Carter Harrington making that stab over at third base. Grant Darden is at shortstop. Lucas Owen at second. Roman Pomerantz is at first base. Logan Odell on the mound pitching to Benjamin Tillman behind the plate. Swing and a miss by Victor Miller, the first baseman here for East St. Louis. 4 quick outs here for Collinsville to begin this game. Miller, next pitch to him. Swing and a miss as Odell took a little off of that one. And he is ahead in the count, 0-2. Daniel Crockett waits on deck. Next pitch. That one just misses. Miller stays alive. 1 ball, 2 strikes to count to the Flyers' first baseman. Victor Miller. One of the 2 freshmen on this roster, and Miller goes down swinging. That is the 4th strikeout here in the first couple of innings for Odell. And here is Daniel Crockett, the right fielder for the Flyers. Pitch to Crockett, swing and a miss as Crockett waited on that one. Took him a second to pull the trigger on that swing. 0-1, 2 outs. Next pitch to Crockett, in there for a called strike. 0-2, Odell looking for another quick 1-2-3 inning. Get his team back up to the plate. Odell, next delivery to Crockett on the way. Swing and a miss. It goes back to the screen. And I think that was a foul ball. Just got the end of a bat on a piece of that ball for a foul ball. Nigel Davis, the catcher, waits on deck. Next pitch to Crockett from Odell on the way. Swing and a miss. Now he's down on strikes. 5 strikeouts so far here in the early going for Logan Odell. And that's another quick 1-2-3 inning. And we head down to the bottom half of the second inning. Collinsville up by a score of 4-0.
Lottie's Cafe, Collinsville's hidden gem. Lottie's Cafe offers food, cocktails, and gaming in a great atmosphere highlighted by fast and friendly service. Lottie's Cafe also offers a unique menu that features soups and salads, sandwiches and paninis, pizza and flatbreads, appetizers and desserts, as well as breakfast. That's right, we said breakfast. Unique breakfast items such as a breakfast stromboli, a breakfast BLT, and breakfast burritos. Lottie's also offers creative cocktails, a wine bar, the coldest beer around, and a video gaming area for those 21 and older. And don't forget the Lottie's Cafe gift certificates. Lottie's Cafe, Collinsville's hidden gem. Check them out online at lottiescafe.com, on Facebook, or in person in the Strip next to the Walmart Neighborhood Market. Or call Lottie's Cafe at 618-223-8256. Lottie's Cafe, Collinsville's hidden gem.
Back here at SIUE, Todd Duke, that is me. Glad that you are with us here on a rainy, soggy, kind of cool well, not the last day. Tomorrow is the last day of April, and April has been very, very wet, man. I tell you what. It seems like nonstop rain. I know we're supposed to get March winds bring the April showers, but you can cut off the April showers now. Somebody just lowered the American flag out there in center field. Well, okay. So they put it up just for the anthem, and then they took it down. I got you. All right. Everybody batted in the first inning, so we start over in the second inning. Carson Perrell, Braden Hinson, Adam Bovinette, and if anyone can get on, Carter Harrington will have a chance to bat. Perrell tripled and scored in that 4-run first inning. We'll see what he has in mind. He lifted a laser beam of a shot into the left center field alley out there, and it rolled all the way to the fence. Swip immediately was ready to send him home for an inside the park home run, but the last second he put up the stop sign, and Harrington stopped at third base. First pitch to Carson Perrell misses. Carson Perrell, not Carter Harrington. Swinging a shot foul down the third base side. That one's into the swampland over there, past the Kahawks bullpen. And the 1-1 pitch to Perrell, outside, ball 2. 4 runs on 3 hits in that first inning for Collinsville. They left a couple of base runners on. Spearman ready with the 2-1 pitch. Here it comes. Swinging a little foul ball that hit home plate and then rolled out. That'll even things up at 2-2. Now they're putting the American flag back up. 2-2 the count. Spearman to Perrell. There's the pitch. Outside. Bounces all the way back to the screen. Full count. Braden Hinson goes back to retrieve that baseball. Life of an on-deck circle in on-deck batter in high school. Swinging another high fly ball. On the move is the right fielder, but one bounce in front of Jeremy Hill. That ball will go. And Perrell now 2 for 2 on the afternoon with a single and a triple. So you got the hardest ones out of the way, right? Trying to hit for the cycle. That'll bring Braden Hinson, the left fielder, singled in Perrell from third base in his first at bat, plus stole a base and scored a run. Spearman, he's ready, as Perrell was taken off from first base, but a bunt foul by Hinson will return him to his base. And now Nigel Davis and Jarvis Spearman are going to talk about it for a minute. Maurice Scott, the head baseball coach at East St. Louis. Over 20 years, he said. I've been doing this for 20 years. The 0-1, and instead Hinson steps out. Peril has a lead over at first. Spearman, and a pitch out, and that one's going to go way high. I think that's probably what they were talking about. Spearman and Davis talking about a pitch out, but the throw was way high on the second base side of the bag, and Peril had no problem with that stolen base. Fourth stolen base on the afternoon, and that one gets away, and down to third goes Peril. So Peril at third base once again with nobody out. 1 ball, 2 strikes the count to Braden Hinson. Spearman delivers the next, tying outside. That one pops out of the glove of Davis, but stays right in front of him. Four hits now for Collinsville to go along with their 4 runs. 2-2 the count to Hinson. Here it comes. Swing and a miss, and Hinson is down on strikes. First strikeout of the game for Spearman. He's already issued a couple of walks, a wild pitch, hit a batter. And here is Adam Bovenette, the designated hitter. He walked and scored, also stole a base in that 4-run first inning. Now looking for an RBI. Here's the pitch, and that one's a little inside. Wind has kind of died down as the sun has come out, and some of these rain clouds have moved away. Next pitch to Bovenette. That one stays high, 2-0. Lots more sunshine now, not through filtered clouds. Starting to see some blue sky cracking through on some of these. That one is a pitch that bounced in front of home plate, and that will allow Carson Peril to score. Second wild pitch issued by Spearman. And now the bases are empty, and Collinsville up 5-0. And Bovenette up there with no one to knock in now, so the only way he's going to get an RBI at this at bat is if he sends one over the fence. And that one's in the turf as well, and Bovenette has worked back-to-back walks out of Spearman. And that'll bring up Carter Harrington, the third baseman, who was called out on interference call in his first at-bat. That was when Hinson stole third base. I'm guessing he didn't get out of the way, so Davis could have a clean throw down to third. That's why they called him interference. Swinging a chance underneath the glove of the third baseman, Harper. That'll move Bovenette over to second base, and Harrington is on with a single that went right underneath the glove of Harper. First and second with 1 out. Here comes Roman Pomerantz. Pomerantz grounded out to Harper in his first at bat. Spearman works quickly. Pitch outside. Works a lot quicker than those Waterloo pitchers did on Friday, that's for sure. A 3-hour, 7-inning high school baseball game. Lots of runs scored, lots of hits, so that makes it a little longer too. Runners go. Pitch is in there for a called strike, but both runners advance. Stolen bases, number 5 and 6 for Collinsville. And a chance for the batter to do some damage, and Pomerantz looks at one high. Spearman trying to wiggle out of some trouble here. He pitches, and that one's outside as well. 3-1 the count. Pomerantz. Catcher Benjamin Tillman waits on deck. Spearman got to deal with Pomerantz first, and that one is low, and he walked him. And the bases are loaded once again for Collinsville.
Up next, catcher number 1.
That is Benjamin Tillman, the catcher. He was hit by a pitch and came around to score after a balk was called. Bases are loaded once again for Spearman, and here's the pitch. Of course, Tillman wasn't the one running. Frierson was doing the courtesy running for the Collinsville catcher. First pitch misses. Bovenet at third, Harrington at second, Pomerantz at first. Tillman looks at one over the outside corner for a called strike. 1-1 the count. And the next delivery on the way, and that one gets way over the head of the catcher, but it takes a bounce off of that wall around home plate, comes right back to him, so scampering back over to third base was Bovenet. They did change that hit by Harrington to an error. And that one's going to get away, and that one is going to allow a run to score. Everybody's going to move up this time. Bovenet will come in to score on the wild pitch. Change that on my scorecard. So runners at second and third, and still one out, and that is a called strike when Tillman thought he had a walk. Full count now to the Kahok catcher, Benjamin Tillman. And the pitch up high, he walked him, so the bases are loaded once again.
Center fielder number 3, Luke Robinson.
5 walks issued by Spearman. Frierson will come back in once again and run for Tillman. And that'll bring up Luke Robinson. Robinson had an RBI single in his first at bat, a bunt single. He's up there with just one out and looks at one outside. Robinson awaits the 1-0 from Spearman. Here it is. Outside, 2-0. Weekend's supposed to be nice, and so far the first 3 days of next week, according to the weather forecasters, look pretty dry as well. So it'd be nice if we can get a little bit of a dry stretch going on here. We don't need any rain for a while. Got some baseball and softball games to make up also. It'd be nice if we can get those in. Here's the 3-0. That one gets away, and everyone's going to move up a base anyway. Wouldn't have mattered if it was a wild pitch or not. Robinson receives a walk. Carter Harrington comes in to score. And the Kahawks lead 7-0. Pomerantz at third. Frierson at second. Robinson over at third. And here is Grant Darden, who walked and was stranded on the base paths in that first inning. So once again, bases all full of Kahawks. 7-0 Collinsville leads. Another one. That one tips off the glove of Davis, so that one's going to be a passed ball. And in to score is Pomerantz. Everybody moves up, and Collinsville now up 8-0. 4 runs in each inning thus far. Darden can make it more. Here's the pitch to the Kahawks shortstop. That one's outside. 2-0. Again, we are blocked out up here from both bullpens, so we have no idea if there's a pitcher warming up for East St. Louis or not. Spearman, he's ready to go, and he steps off. Flyers are out here in their blue jerseys with blue hats, numbers on the fronts and the backs of their uniforms in orange. And the next pitch is a little bit high. They have the word Flyers written across the fronts of those jerseys. Collinsville is here in all white. They are the home team. Purple hats, purple helmets, purple numbers, and they have the word Kahawks written across the fronts of their jerseys. Pitch. Ball 4. Bases are loaded once again.
Second baseman number 14, Lucas Owen.
Lucas Owen will be the 9th man to bat again. They're going to call a timeout, go out and talk things over with their pitcher, Spearman. Supposed to have some softball coming up for you tomorrow. Collinsville at home, ready to take on Red Bud, but we have more rain on the way as well, so we'll have to wait and see if that one's going to happen. Have some soccer for you on Thursday. Collinsville returns home. They're at O'Fallon tonight, are the Lady Kahawks. They'll return home Thursday to take on Freeburg. And I'll have that game for you on the Kahawk Sports Network. Conversation on the mound is over. And Lucas Owen, who grounded out to the shortstop, Sean Combs, to end the first, or excuse me, Cobbs to end the first inning. Looks at one high. Ball 1. Five walks here in this inning for Spearman. And a bouncing ball foul down the third base side. 7 walks issued by Spearman already. And Lucas Owen can do some damage here. Collinsville already up 8-0. Here's the pitch. Swinging a bouncing ball. First baseman is going to grab it. And Spearman is going to cover. He's going to step on the bag. Safe, the umpire says. Everyone is safe. And Collinsville tacks on yet another run. Bases will remain loaded. And the error will belong to the pitcher. He never stepped on the bag, even though he got a nice little underhand toss there from Victor Miller. And back to the top of the order, and Carson Perrell now in there for a called strike. So 2 errors in the game now for East St. Louis. Collinsville up 9-0. And that one's outside. And the bases remain loaded, and we still just have 1 out. I don't know why there's 2 on my board here. I'll change that right now. The only out was a Braden Hinson strikeout. Here's the pitch from Spearman. That one, they called another balk. So Robinson will come in to score on the second balk called on Spearman in this game. And the Kahawks go up 10-0. And the next delivery, high. Spearman, the right-hander, fires. Swinging a foul ball that stays at home plate. 2-2 the count. 1 out. Runners on second and third. Collinsville up 10-0 here in the second inning. 10 runs on just 4 hits. That one's high. Spearman looks into Nigel Davis, has his sign, brings it home, swinging a foul ball back to the screen, or back to the mat that hangs along the wall here. Makes a distinct sound, that's for sure. Next pitch from Spearman on the way, and that one stays high and off of the catcher's glove all the way back to the screen. And another pass ball. Second pass ball to go along with 3 wild pitches in this game. Grant Darden comes in from third to score. Peril receives walk number 8 on the afternoon by Spearman. And we're going to have a pinch or courtesy runner as Cal Swartz comes in to run. And Braden Hinson will step up. He's already struck out in this inning. He's responsible for the only out here in the second. He would like to atone for that. So he'll step in from the right side, ready to go with the lefty Bovenet waiting on deck. East St. Louis would like a double play ball here. You know, that's what they're looking for. That one's a little bit low. And Spearman now ready with the 1-0 pitch to Braden Hinson. Here it comes. Peril will trot down to second base on catcher's indifference. He didn't even bother. So now runners in scoring position here for Hinson. And the next pitch, outside. Ball 2, 2-1. Spearman from the stretch brings the next delivery home, swinging a high pop fly. That one's going to get out of play. Goes back behind the first base side dugout. 2-2. Pitch. Low. Ball 3. Spearman ready with that 3-2 delivery. It's outside and another walk. We'll load the bases once again for the Collinsville Kahawks, and here is Adam Bovenet. Lucas Owen at third, Carson Peril at second. Braden Hinson now at first, or excuse me, Cal Swartz is now at second, and now Braden Hinson's going to have a runner as well. That'll be Matt Reynolds. Bovenet up to the plate. He has walked twice, scored twice. A couple of stolen bases as well. Bovenet brings one home, swinging a miss. He was going for the fences on that one. $11-0 in favor of Collinsville here in the second. And the pitch to Bovenet on the way. That one's inside. That'll even things out at 1-1. Adam would like to drive a ball here. And the pitch. Down low and outside. Tonight's Cardinals-Reds game is postponed due to rain. Swing and a miss by Bovenet. Spearman took a little off and fooled Adam. Adam was looking fastball all the way there. Spearman ready with another delivery and a swing and a shot right back up the middle. The shortstop will get it. He'll go to the bag, touch it for second. On over to first. Double play by East St. Louis. And they'll get out of the inning, but in the inning, 7 runs come across the plate on no hits. And Collinsville will go back out and play some defense for the top of the third as we have an 11-0 game in favor of your Collinsville Kahawks, and we'll tell you about the Flyers next at bat when we come back from a timeout here on the Kahawk Sports Network.
Keep your ride shiny and clean with Extreme Details Vehicle Detailing in Collinsville. Owner Jay Merkel and his crew at Extreme Details believe in the value of community and in helping their community hold the value of their vehicles with a sharp-looking, clean ride that you and your community can be proud of. Extreme Details can handle any job, whether you drive a small car, an SUV, or even a bus or RV. No job is too big or too small at Extreme Details. Extreme Details offers scratch and oxidation removal, no matter what you drive: cars, trucks, motorcycles, boats, and more. Plus, Extreme Details can handle fleet vehicles for you and your company. Call Jay and the gang at Extreme Details at 618-977-1224. Check for periodic specials on the Extreme Details Facebook page. Put the shine in your ride with Extreme Details, 618-977-1224.
Top of the third as we welcome you back here to SIUE's Roy E. Lee Field. 4 runs in the first, 7 runs in the second for Collinsville and East St. Louis. Looking for their first base runner as Logan Odell has held them off the bases. 1, 2, 3 in both innings. Struck out the side in the first, and then after a ground out by Spearman to lead off the second, Odell struck out the next 2 batters, so 5 strikeouts in the first 6 outs. And the bottom of the order comes up. Nigel Davis, Jeremy Hill, and Kennedy Ayers, if anyone can get on. Jamon Company will have a chance to bat a fly ball. That's off of the glove of Carson Perrell. So Perrell commits the error, and sliding into second base is Nigel Davis. And East St. Louis has their first base runner thanks to a fielding error out there by Carson Perrell. They might have. I don't know. There's Jeremy Hill. Not sure if that's Perrell out there or not. Collinsville might have already made some changes. Too far away for me to see it. I don't have my binoculars with me. Swartz. Cal Swartz is out in right field. First pitch in there to Jeremy Hill is a called strike. And Logan Odell trying to forget about that runner at second, at the same time checking on him, and he'll throw one down too low. 1 ball, 1 strike to count to Jeremy Hill. Kennedy Ayers waits on deck. Odell checks on Davis at second, brings one in, and that one's just a little off the inside portion of the plate. 2-1. Odell brings the next one home, swinging a foul ball out of play. I've already been handed the information that tomorrow's softball game against Redbud has already been canceled. Redbud trying to make up a conference game tomorrow, so they're going to try to do that instead of come to Collinsville for a non-conference game that probably would have been canceled due to a wet field anyway. Hill goes down on strikes. This one he's caught looking. 6th strikeout for Odell. That's the first out of the inning, and that'll bring up the number 9 man in the Flyers order, Kennedy Ayers. And then back to the top of the order. Odell checks on Davis at second, brings it home. Squaring around to bunt was Ayers, but he pulled it back and took one outside. Ball 1. Odell ready with the next. Instead, he steps off, throw, and that one is off of the glove of Grant Darden and into center field. A throw over to third base, not going to be in time. So Davis finds himself at third base on a error by Darden at shortstop. Bounced right off of his glove. So Collinsville with 2 errors here in this inning. Called strike on Ayers. So East St. Louis has their first run just 90 feet away. 1 out, 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. And Ayers now in a 1-2 hole with Jamon Company Jr. waiting on deck. Odell brings it home. Hey, strike 3 called. Ayers ducked out of there like it was about ready to hit him, which it had some movement on it. And Ayers becomes the 7th strikeout victim for Odell. And back to the top of the order, and Company, who was victimized looking at a called 3rd strike his only time up. Odell, he's ready. And again, looked like Company was ready to bail out of there. And that ball came in but stayed a little bit too high, 1-0. And the delivery on the way, swing and a miss. First day of Washers League tomorrow, if it doesn't rain. Here's the pitch. Yep, I was planning on going to do a softball game and then heading right down to the Caseyville VFW to take in the first night of Washers. Games won't count tomorrow. It's just sign-up day and getting everything figured out and then tossing a few casual just to loosen up the old Washers tossing arm as that foul ball goes back toward the Flyers dugout. 2-2, 2 outs. Runner at third base. 11-0 in favor of Collinsville. 4 runs in the first, 7 runs in the second for the Kahawks. Odell trying to get out of this with no damage done. Strike 3 call. There it is. And that will end the inning. 8th strikeout on the day for Odell, and we will head to the bottom half of the 3rd inning. Collinsville comfortably out front by a score of 11-0. Back in just a moment here on the Kahok Sports Network.
Got vinyl? Rich's Record Emporium in Uptown Collinsville can take care of all of your vinyl needs and more. You can peruse through thousands of records, from country to hard-to-find jazz, and classic rock is always in stock at Rich's Record Emporium. Used vinyl, new vinyl, and hard-to-find vinyl. Don't forget to check out the audio room at Rich's, where you can check out the latest in audio gear, from new top-of-the-line speakers to turntables and receivers, plus all of the accessories. Rich's has t-shirts, record cleaners, turntable needles, wall art, and so much more. If you can't find what you're looking for at Rich's, they will do their best to find it for you. Don't forget to mention seeing this ad on the Kahok Sports Network for a 10% discount at checkout. Rich's Record Emporium, 131 West Main Street in Collinsville, or call 618-795-1333 or online at richesrecordemporium.com.
Jarvis Spearman heads back onto the hill for East St. Louis. His team trailing the Kahawks by a score of 11-0. Of course, Spearman not helping matters out much with 9 walks, 3 wild pitches, and a hit batter. And he will deal with the middle of the order. And that begins with Carter Harrington. Harrington called out on an interference call in the first inning, but reached on an error and scored in the second. Well, 11-0 in favor of Collinsville. Bottom of the 3rd is where we are. And Harrington will see if he can get things going here. Spearman's ready with the first pitch, and it's a high and tight one right across the purple letters that spell the word Kahawks on that jersey that Hartman's wearing. Spearman ready once again. Looks at one down and low. Ball 2, 2-0. Seeing some blue skies out there in the distance. Be nice if we can keep those around for a while. That one gets away and all the way back to the screen and then rolls all the way back to the umpire. 3-0 the count to Carter Harrington with Roman Pomerantz waiting on deck. Spearman ready, and the pitch is up high. 4-pitch walk to Carter Harrington. 10th walk of this game for Spearman. And Pomerantz will come to the plate with a runner on first base here for the Kahawks. Dad Matt coaching down the first base side. Coach Brett Swip in the third base coach's box. Pomerantz grounded out in his first at bat, walked and scored in his second at bat. Spearman's ready, and the pitch is down low. Looked to me like Nigel Davis was ready for Harrington to take off running at first base. Harrington has 10 stolen bases, been caught twice. Called strike that one to Pomerantz. Benjamin Tillman waits on deck. Spearman's ready. Runner goes. Swinging a chopper right to the first baseman. He'll race over to the bag himself. Harrington down at first. Pomerantz out. 3 unassisted. And here is Benjamin Tillman. Tillman hit by a pitch and walked. Both times he was pinch ran for by Frierson, and both times Frierson came across to score. And that's going to be a balk as Spearman was into his windup. And when he saw Harrington down there dancing around second base, it threw him off and he stopped his windup. That's a balk. That's a third balk in this game for Spearman, as the first pitch is low and outside to Tillman. So Tillman with an RBI opportunity. Collinsville hasn't had very many RBIs today. A lot of, there's one right there. That's down the third baseline, and that is going to score Harrington, no problems whatsoever. On his way to second is Tillman. Having trouble getting it in, but he'll pull up stakes down there at second base. And Tillman will be in there with a stand-up RBI double. That is the 5th hit of the afternoon for Collinsville. Tillman is going to come back in. And Elijah Clay is going to come in to do the courtesy running for Tillman this inning. And I'll bring up Luke Robinson. Robinson singled in a run in that 4-run first inning. Then took a walk, scored a run in the 7-run second inning. Collinsville already plated one here in the third, and that one is right past Matt Pomerantz down there in the first base coach's box. He stuck that right arm out there like he was going to try and catch it. He didn't try too hard. And he has to show off his athletic ability as Crockett threw that ball back in from down in the corner, and Pomerantz had to go run and chase it, and then he hopped up in the air after it took a bounce and caught it barehanded. So hats off to Matt Pomerantz. 1 ball, 1 strike to count now to Luke Robinson. A runner at second. High fly ball. Center fielder Kennedy Ayers said he's underneath it, and he has it for the out. Tagging and moving over to third from second base is Clay, the courtesy runner. And there are 2 away. That'll bring up Grant Darden. Darden has walked both times that he's been to the plate. Scored on the second free pass back in the second inning. Runner at third base, 2 away. See if Darden wants to pick up an RBI. That one is a little bit high, otherwise right down the middle. Spearman ready with the next, and that one's outside. Nice job by Nigel Davis to stop that one, keep that runner from scoring. 3 wild pitches in this game, 2 passed balls. Few of those have led to runs. A balk has led to a couple. Third balk of the game called earlier, and that one is going to hit Darden on the backside. No? Didn't hit him, the umpire says. went behind him. Okay. 3-0. Huh? 2-0, they're going to say. I don't even know what happened there. They call another balk or something I didn't see? Must have been. That one gets away, and I'm guessing another balk was called. So now the bases are empty, but another run comes across for Collinsville. They're up 13-0, and that one will be ball 4 to Darden. And that will bring up, looks like we're going to have a Jaden Frierson at bat here. He'll take over for Lucas Owen.
Second baseman, number 22, Jaden Frierson.
So Frierson will come in to bat, take over second base. He probably did in the last half inning, and I didn't notice. Darden on at first. Frierson looking for his first base hit of the year. They use him as a courtesy runner a lot, but he doesn't get to bat a lot. That one's on the outside corner for a called strike. Oh, and 1 the count to Jaden Frierson. Runner goes from first, and the pitch is high, and Davis, another catcher's indifference. Collinsville has a runner now in scoring position for Frierson. And that one is a little bit low. Jaden, a senior. Hopefully we can get to him on the senior interviews. All these rainouts and stuff makes it kind of hard to get everybody in. Next pitch to Frierson on the way. Swinging a foul ball back to the screen. That'll even things out at 2-2. 2 outs, runner on second. 13-0 in favor of Collinsville. 13 runs on 5 hits. And the next pitch on the way to Frierson. It's in there for a called strike. And Frierson goes down looking for the third out. But the Kahawks do score 2 more runs here in the third inning. And we will head to the 4th inning. Collinsville leading by a score of 13-0. And the Flyer is getting ready to come up to the plate.
Lakeside Roofing in Collinsville. Let the professionals at Lakeside Roofing protect your most important investment, your home or business. Have the elements taken a toll on your roof system? Notice a leaking roof? Maybe it's time for a free roof inspection. Regular maintenance can extend the life of your roofing system by 10 years or more. Lakeside Roofing is your winning team for commercial and residential roofing systems. Lakeside All-Star professionals have installed, repaired, and maintained hundreds of roofs on both sides of the river. Call Lakeside Roofing today at 618-344-2800 in Collinsville or 314-241-5253 or online at lakesideroofing.com. Choose experience, choose Lakeside.
First National Bank of Waterloo, with over 100 years serving the Metro East. Visit First National Bank of Waterloo at their Maryville and Collinsville locations, and now in Marissa, St. Laborie, and New Athens for all of your banking, mortgage, and lending needs with super low closing costs and low construction loan rates. When you need a loan, call the Collinsville team at First National Bank of Waterloo at 618-345-1121 or visit their Maryville or Collinsville locations or online at fnbwaterloo.bank. Visit First National Bank of Waterloo, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Henry Sterneman will take over for Logan Odell on the pitcher's mound for Collinsville. Elijah Clay will take over behind the plate for Ben Tillman. Jaden Frierson came in last half inning and took over second base for Lucas Owen, and Cal Swartz came in to take over right field from Carson Perrell. Sterneman on the year, making his 4th appearance. And on the year, he has just as many strikeouts as walk. That would be 4. First batter he faces is Sean Cobbs. Cobbs, a strikeout victim his first time up against Odell. Top of the fourth, 13-0 in favor of Collinsville. Sterneman ready with a 2-0 pitch. Swing and a miss. Took a little bit off of that one, did Henry. And Cobbs was thinking fastball all the way and pulled that one just a little bit too early. 2-1 the count. And the pitch on the way. And that one gets away. And Clay keeps it at home plate, though. But 3-1 the count now to Cobbs. Flyers have only had one base runner this afternoon. That was on an error. And now they have their second on a walk. 8 strikeouts for Odell while he was in there. That will bring up Montreal Harper, also a strikeout victim his first time up, as Odell struck out the side to begin this game. Harper will go down, talk things over with Flyers head coach Maurice Scott, who coaches down the third base side. And a runner on for East St. Louis with nobody out. Here's the pitch. Swinging a shot down the third base line. That's foul. Just foul. That was maybe foul by about 3 inches. Sterneman from the stretch checks on his runner. And the next pitch, a little high. Ball 1-1. Sterneman again looks over that left shoulder. And a little nubber, third base side. And had a hard time getting it out of the glove, did Harrington. And that hesitation cost him as he throws wild into the outfield. And everybody is going to be safe. Cobbs down at third base. Harper reaches on a fielder's choice. Third error on the game for Collinsville. And that'll put runners on the corners for pitcher Jarvis Spearman, who grounded out to Harrington at third base his first time up. So Sterneman going to have to wiggle out of a jam here. Pitch to Spearman in there for a called strike. Sterneman, a junior, from the stretch, pitches. Swing and a miss. Took a little off of that one as well. Strike 2. Actually got a little piece of it, but was held on to down there by Elijah Clay. And 0-2 the count to Spearman. Sterneman brings home the next. Swing and a miss, and down on strikes goes Spearman. First strikeout for Sterneman. And that'll bring up first baseman Victor Miller, who was a strikeout victim against Odell his first time up. Sterneman ready. A little low. Ball 1. Runners on the corners here for the Flyers. We're in the top of the fourth. Sterneman ready with another delivery. It's on the way. Swinging a chopper down to third base side, but foul. And we'll do it all over again. Runners at first and third for the Flyers. 1 ball, 1 strike to count to Victor Miller. Sterneman, nice long look, and they'll step off. Now we're ready to go. Sterneman with the 1-1 pitch. That one's in the dirt. Nice stop again by Clay. 2-1 the count to Victor Miller with Daniel Crockett, the right fielder, waiting on deck. Sterneman once again checks on his runner at first and brings one home. High fly ball. On the move is Henson. Diving catch. And now he'll throw home, and that is not going to be in time. East St. Louis will score a run and make it 13-1. Victor Miller will pick up an RBI. Nice catch over there, though, by Braden Henson in left field. And they're going to appeal. He left early, so take the run off the board. And Collinsville will head now to the bottom of the fourth and still lead by a score of 13-0. Back with the home half of the fourth here in just a moment on the Kahok Sports Network.
Herald Square and Cold Herald, two great additions to the Collinsville landscape. Next to the Old Herald Brewery and Distillery, Herald Square is a new outdoor multi-use event space in Collinsville. Concerts, fun and games, farmer markets, and so much more. Herald Square, a great space for Collinsville's future. And just off the square's turf, Cold Herald, old-fashioned scooped ice cream gelato, house-made recipes, and premium-sourced product. If you're over 21, ask about the good stuff at Cold Herald. Watch Collinsville grow. Herald Square and Cold Herald, two great new additions, only in Collinsville, Illinois.
The Collinsville Area Community Foundation is our community's charitable foundation. We connect people, support programs, and guide resources to help our community thrive. Our board is made up of local leaders that donate their time and expertise to identify opportunities for long-term community impact in and around Collinsville. Find out more about scholarships, grants, and ways to give back to the city we love by visiting CollinsvilleFoundation.com.
Well, we welcome you back here to SIUE in Edwardsville. Quite a way to end the top of the fourth inning. Victor Miller thought he had a RBI flyout to left field, but Sean Cobbs came home to score after a nice diving, sliding play by Braden Henson out in left field. And after the run scored, Collinsville decided to appeal, and the infield umpire said that Cobbs left early. They called him out, take the run off the board, and we remain at 13-0 heading into the bottom of the fourth. So if Collinsville scores 2 runs here in the bottom of the fourth, this game will be over with the 15-run rule after 4 innings. And we will see if we can do just that as Collinsville prepares to bat here. And doing so right off the bat is Cal Swartz. Swartz came in to take over right field from Carson Perrell. Swartz on the air. Batting .500, limited duty at the plate though. He has scored 5 runs. He has 1 hit. It's a single. And we'll see what Cal Swartz can do. Then we'll check out the rest of the order as they come up. Looks like we're going to have a few, maybe one pinch batter, pinch hitter. We'll find out as we go along. Renzer Hartman is down there with a batting helmet on and a bat in his hands. He was our pregame guest. Spearman back out there for another inning of work, and a bunt down the third base side, and scooping it up is the third baseman, but he is not going to have any chance of a throw. As a matter of fact, it came out of his glove. Montreal Harper. And Cal Swartz is on with a bunt single, and here is Matt Reynolds batting for Braden Henson. Matt Reynolds batting .77 on the year. He has 1 base hit. scored 4 runs. Most of that's come as a courtesy runner. Getting an opportunity to bat here, as is Renzer Hartman, who stands in the on-deck circle. And a swing and a base hit for Matt Reynolds out to center field on his horse on his way to third. And in there safely is Cal Swartz. He got a good jump. He was off to the races on the pitch. And back-to-back base hits have given Collinsville a chance here with runners on the corners. And no one down. And Renzer Hartman will come to the plate. Renzer batting .250 on the year. A couple of runs batted in. He does have a double as part of his 4 hits, and the runner will take off and go down to second base with no throw. And again, catcher, like, I've had enough. I'm not even going to try, because as soon as I do, you'll probably bring Swartz in from third. Next pitch to Hartman on the way, swinging a little Q-tip down first base, but that's foul. And Hartman is in an 0-2 hole. With runners on second and third, those 2 runners score, this game will be over. Hartman awaits the next, and that one's outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes to count. Will Swip waits in the on-deck circle for Collinsville. Here's the next pitch to Hartman. That one bounces in front of home plate, but Davis did a nice job snagging it, and that keeps the runners where they are. Hartman. Going to go to SIU, he says. Get in the construction industry. That one's outside, and all of a sudden it's a full count. Spearman was ahead in the count, 0-2. 3 straight out of the strike zone has made it 3-2. See if Hartman gets anything to hit here. That one is down low, bounces away, but runners are not going to be able to go anywhere, and Hartman finds himself down at first base with the 11th walk in this game for Spearman. And here is Will Swip. Swip on the year, batting .148, 3 runs batted in. He also has a double. If he gets another one of those, then this game will be over. And the pitch, high and outside. Nobody out. Bases full of Kahawks. Spearman from the stretch delivers to Swip. That one gets away, and that one's they thought it was going to bounce off the backdrop here and go right back to the catcher, but it kind of took a little bit of a twist of a turn, and so just to be safe, Coach Swip kept Cal Swartz at third base. 2-0 the count, though, to Will Swip. Rain Holting looks like he's on deck next. Swip looks another one outside. That one also gets away, but that one does come right back to Davis. And once again, Swartz stays put. 3-0, though. So Spearman needs to put one down the middle, or he's going to walk in 1 run, and the bases will still be loaded, and the game-clinching run will be 90 feet away. Here's the next to Swip. Up high, he walked him. So Swip gets the easy RBI. Bases remain loaded, still nobody out. And here is Rain Holton. And Spearman pitches to him, and that one's a little bit outside, but it hits the corner. Rain Holton looking for his first hit of the year. Here's the 0-1, swinging a high fly ball. That one's going to get out of play into the Flyers bullpen. And quickly, Holton is in an 0-2 hole. And the next pitch, swing and a miss, and down on strikes goes Holton for out number 1 here in the inning. Second strikeout of the game for Spearman. And here is Elijah Clay. His first at bat of this game. And Clay is batting 1,000 on the year. 2 for 2. He's also scored a run and knocked in a run going 2 for 2. Base is still loaded. Pitch in the dirt or in the turf. 2-0. Can't walk him or the game's over. Base hit, game's over. Double play will keep the game going. East St. Louis have their infielders playing for the play at the plate. But another pitch down low makes it 3-0. It's not going to matter if he pitches another one out of the strike zone. Spearman, he's ready. Here's the next pitch. And it is a walk and a RBI for Clay. And that's going to do it. That is the game, folks. 15-0 in favor of Collinsville as they pull out the win here against East St. Louis in the first game of this doubleheader. This is the only game we're going to do, though. So we'll take a break here because it's time for the post-game show brought to you by Chiropractic Works in Collinsville, owned and operated by Dr. Chris McCluskey. He and his crew are focused on helping as many people as possible live high-quality lives all through chiropractic care and wellness. You can visit Dr. McCluskey at Chiropractic Works in Collinsville, 410 Regency Center, just off of the Beltline Road in Collinsville. Give them a call, 618-343-3602, or online, chiropracticworkscollinsville.com. Post-game show comes your way next here on the Kahok Sports Network.
I'd like to introduce you to some incredible new technology we have available here at Chiropractic Works. The machine is known as an Invisired lipolaser machine. The Invisired machine emits a red light and red laser that combine in unison to go through the skin layers into the adipose or fat tissue and cause the cells to go ahead and metabolize themselves. The Invisired technology is the only machine that's FDA approved for fat loss, stimulates collagen and elastin, improves the function of the lymphatic system, boosts metabolism, and increases metabolic response. Typical response after the very first treatment is 1/2 to 2 inches of loss in body measurement. So if you think that this technology could help you accomplish any weight loss or aesthetic goals, we would be glad to have you come in for a consultation, get a first treatment, and experience the amazing benefits that Invisired offers.
Mike's Automotive in Collinsville is a T3 certified tire dealer and so much more. Sure, Mike's Automotive has tires. They can also help with making sure your entire vehicle is road ready, from belts and hoses to preventative maintenance like oil changes and tire rotation. Plus a lot more than that. Mike's Automotive has 3 locations to choose from. Mike's Automotive in St. Louis and Millstadt, and Mike's Automotive in Collinsville at 1150 St. Louis Road, just blocks from the high school. Or call Mike's Automotive at 618-345-0611. Mike's Automotive in Collinsville. VFW Post 1117 in Caseyville is one of the area's longest-running VFW posts. VFW Post 1117 in Caseyville is your place to meet and join other area veterans. Plus, VFW Post 1117 in Caseyville offers all kinds of activities to help our veterans, as well as engaging the public with fun, food, fellowship, and a great time for great causes. Blood drives, fundraisers, raffles, and a Queen of Hearts drawing every Wednesday night. Plus, VFW Post 1117 in Caseyville has event space for your parties, celebrations, and other get-togethers. For more information, check out the VFW Post 1117's Facebook page or call the Caseyville VFW at 618-344-9878. Looking for a new place to catch the game with cold drinks and great food? Look no further than 1101 Bar and Grill in Caseyville. 1101 Bar and Grill features pizza, burgers, wraps, and salads, plus 7 large screen TVs to catch the latest Kahok games and all the pro sports across the spectrum, plus all the college football and basketball you can handle. 1101 Bar and Grill in Caseyville, 1101 Caseyville Road, right across the street from Kahok Stadium. Call 1101 Bar and Grill for carryout orders at 618-223-1332.
I'd like to introduce you to some incredible new technology we have available here at Chiropractic Works. The machine is known as an InvisaRed lipolaser machine. The InvisaRed machine emits a red light and red laser that combine in unison to go through the skin layers into the adipose or fat tissue and cause the cells to go ahead and metabolize themselves. The InvisaRed technology is the only machine that's FDA approved for fat loss, stimulates collagen and elastin, improves the function of the lymphatic system, boosts metabolism, and increases metabolic response. Typical response after the very first treatment is 1/2 to 2 inches of loss in body measurement. So if you think that this technology could help you accomplish any weight loss or aesthetic goals, we'd be glad to have you come in for a consultation, get a first treatment, and experience the amazing benefits that InvisaRed offers.
And we welcome you back into the Chiropractic Works post-game show here on the Kahok Sports Network. Collinsville wins this one today over East St. Louis 15-0. Game one of a doubleheader, but this is the only game that we're going to bring you here on the Kahok Sports Network. Collinsville got 4 runs in the first, 7 in the second, 2 more in each the third and the fourth, and the 15-run rule kicks in. 15 runs after 4 innings, and the game is over. Collinsville 15 runs on 7 base hits. Cahoks did commit 3 errors in this game. They left a couple of base runners on. East St. Louis, no hit today here by Collinsville. No runs on no hits. They committed 2 errors, and they left 1 base runner on base. 13 walks did really not help the East St. Louis Flyers, not to mention 3 wild pitches, a couple of passed ball, a hit batter, and 3 balks also in this game called against East St. Louis. So Collinsville wins this one here by a final score 15-0. We are not going to have anything for you tomorrow, as tomorrow's softball game has already been canceled. So our next action will come to you from the soccer pitch over at Kahok Stadium on Thursday night as Freeburg comes into town. As far as your baseball team is concerned, they are going to resume a game tomorrow at Staunton that was suspended back on April 21st because of rain. So the Cahoks are right back at it tomorrow in a continuation of a game they had going on in Staunton back when some rain hit that area. So that is going to do it for us here today. A big thank you to Renzer Hartman for taking some time and joining us in the pregame interview. And my name is Todd Duke, and until Thursday night at soccer, everybody have yourselves a fantastic rest of your Tuesday.